Navajo country, meet Miss Navajo.
Yes, I am definitely looking forward to it. We're meeting a strong, independent Navajo woman who embodies everything that is expected of a strong Navajo woman.
Zoe reached out to the people in Navajo country, and they responded well and granted us permission to meet with Miss Navajo. And we've both seen the documentary, so we're pretty excited to go check it out and see what we can learn and gain from our experience out there. But we're just on the road. On the way there, Zoe's driving us over, so she's paying attention to the road, obviously. And there's trains going by. I can't see it over there. We're in a pretty part of New Mexico, and we'll get back with you shortly.
The teachings are my mother was the one who taught me the words that I know, taught me how to talk, taught me how to speak right. If we said something wrong, she would get after us. My dad is the one who taught me the songs that I know. He's a medicine man, so he taught me the songs that I know. He taught me a lot. So, they taught me how to pray. Although we are here today because we're here today because of our grandmother's prayers. He used to tell a lot of stories. He told us a lot of stories, both of them, all the teachings that we know, all the creation stories. So all of those are tied into the way I grew up. Have a great day. Don't forget to take care of yourself.
How do you say hello in Navajo?
Yate.
Yaate.
Mi'elo.
Mielo.
Mi'ilalo.
Mi'ilalo.
Yate.
You are here, Window Rock, Arizona. Howdy.
Lighting's bad over there.
Yeah.
At the age of 10 and 11, Navajo girls participate in a corn pollen harvesting ritual. It is performed at dawn when the corn is ready to pollinate. Using ceremonial baskets and facing east to the rising sun, the pollen is harvested while the girl moves around the stalk clockwise. The harvested corn pollen is mixed in the ceremonial basket and set to dry. The dried corn is given to friends and loved ones for the medicine pouches. Girls participate in rituals from a young age. Miss Littleben explains how children are bullied by other Navajo children for knowing Navajo. People who learn Navajo by speaking it at a young age have difficulty reading and writing it, while those who learn by reading and writing have trouble speaking it. It is seen everywhere throughout the Navajo Nation. In the town of Window Rock, it is seen in the art, road signs, museum, and at the zoo. Many efforts to incorporate Navajo into daily life. More than just a beauty contest, the Miss Navajo Nation competition is a series of contests over 5 days. The young women are tested on their knowledge and skills within the tradition of Navajo Nation, stories, and skills. The biggest aspects of the beauty competition is language. Language is important throughout the competition. Contestants are asked questions and given answers in Navajo. During the sheep butchering, they are asked questions about the traditional process by judges. As an ambassador to her people, Miss Navajo Nation is expected to speak fluent Navajo. When we were there, during the conference on sexual assault and domestic violence, Speakers switch between English and Navajo mid-sentence, making their points clear to the majority of the native audience. Another aspect on this trip we focused on was the future. Crystal Fraser hopes to run for president of the Navajo Nation someday. For now, the Navajo Nation still hasn't had a female president. When Miss Little Ben finishes her reign, she will continue her degree as a linguistics student at UNM. She hopes to make as much of a positive impact as she can on the holistic health of her people before giving her crown to the next Miss Navajo Nation. The former Miss Navajo Nations who were interviewed expressed that once one is Miss Navajo, she is always Miss Navajo. It is a deep bond and a positive impact towards the community. Here is some video of the interview that we managed to schedule of Miss Navajo.
And so it's amazing because students come in not knowing any cultural arts, and in the end, because it's also a certificate program, so they have 2 semesters, and so they can either emphasize like in silversmithing, moccasin making, weaving, and basket weaving. And it's all, it's financial aid approved too.
Oh, cool.
And so they can earn their certificate in May. And by that, they learn how to do the arts that they want to go into. And so to see like the process of them being novices, is that a word? Novices,
Yeah,
to like intermediate or even like an expert. So that's one thing that I like, is to see that progress with our kids. And then what that involves is like they want to learn more about the language, they want to learn more about the teachings behind it, because all of these cultural arts, they have teachings behind it. They have origins behind it. It goes back to our emergence. So all of these cultural arts, they have a lot to it. So it's very encouraging when we see people taking these up. So
Introductory into the culture.
yeah, exactly. Which is why I emphasize holistic well-being through Navajo cultural arts. And anyways, we were very scared of not becoming re-granted, so refunded.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that was the call.
Congratulations.
So we have news.
That's great.
Oh, that's great.
Again,
That's
so.
wonderful. So you see this being a promotion, or this will help your culture over time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because I don't know if there's a study behind that yet to see that correlation.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, because you can't just do it in like a year.
So before we take up too much of your time, I wanted to go back to the what we were talking about the American influence on
Oh yeah.
with the last 6 months or so you have as Miss Navajo Nation, you said that programs are being affected, and it's affecting it's affecting your community.
Mm-hmm.
Has the outside influence affected how you are tackling on these issues of holistic health?
Absolutely. Outside influence, I'm thinking just like going to town, that kind of influence too, right? Or even people coming here. Let's see. There is a lot of outside influences on what I'm trying to do. Let me see, how can I answer this question? Sometimes what I talk about, sometimes, especially to the kids, they're not, I feel like sometimes, they won't instill it just because of what they've already been exposed to out there. And also that we have social media, we have border towns here, we have, for kids, there are games, whatever they're taught in school. There's those influences that kind of get in the way, because back then we didn't have any of those. There's cell phones. I didn't even have a cell phone until like my senior year in high school or something.
So you're seeing like a negative influence on the
outside,
children? Outside?
Yeah,
So
so
would you
there's-
call it negative or positive
So
or
there's
neutral?
they're
or-
both.
Pros
so
and
there's
cons.
there's pros and cons for each and every one of those influences that I suggest, because there are like social media. There are pros and cons to that, absolutely. There are great ways that they can access information. Even our kids, they can access any kind of information. So we can make stuff like teachings. We have to put those on mobile apps.
Yeah, make an app out of it.
Yeah, make an app on it, and that's absolutely what has been going on. I think the past few years, there are people out there who are having like Navajo language apps, Navajo culture apps. So, and a lot of our kids that I see, they're always on their iPads, they're always on their phones. So, I think maybe there's that positive to it, that they have better access to it now, even if they can't go to grandma or grandpa's house, they have it on their phone. But of
More
course,
accessible.
yeah, it's more accessible, but of course it won't be the same kind of teaching. So, and then the outside influences also are individuals who are interested in our culture, and they visit us and they want to know more about how we live, about our teachings. And I think I see that as a positive thing. Some individuals don't. Some people, they don't. They're more standoffish on telling people about what they know.
Because it's
about
kind of sacred, some
Yeah.
of it, yeah.
Yeah. So it all depends on the individual, and it all depends on what they think is a positive influence. So for me, that I see that as a positive, because it encourages us and our kids to learn more. Because there are some times where some people, they ask, even myself or other people, that questions that we don't really know about, like our teachings, or
Sure.
yeah. So that encourages me to learn more about it. So that's the way I look at it. I don't.
There's a lot to it. I mean, it's a deep, immersive subject
Yeah,
of ourselves
Mhm.
and our identity.
Absolutely, and that's the core thing, is our self-identity. And I see it as a motivation. I see it as more of a positive tool to utilize, especially for our kids. They have all of that. They have kind of everything that they can utilize.
At their fingertips, really.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that there's that pro to it. But the con is that they can't be physically there to learn all of these things. So there's
It's
that
not as
con.
immersive when it's not your grandma teaching you the
Absolutely.
way of things, or your grandfather.
Absolutely. But for me, I always try to turn everything into a positive. So I see everything as in that brighter light of it. So that's just me, and that's the only way I can think about it, because I can't. There's no room for me to see everything in a negative light of it. So.
You want to occupy that mind space with as much positivity, and absolutely.
Absolutely, especially in this day, like we don't have time for that. We
Every
don't
day
have-
is something new.
Yeah.
It's some negative thing that you're going to hear about.
And I've learned the hard way, to kind of not look at negative stuff, not to listen to negative things, especially
Tune
when I
it
first
out.
became Miss Navajo. That was just a long time.
Well, you're kind of in the position of prominence now as far as
Mhm.
attention, and you're gonna
Exactly.
there's gonna be all sorts of emotion, whether it's positivity, or there's gonna be people that are like trying
A lot
to
of-
come at you at an angle,
Yeah.
or
A lot of opinions.
Opinions,
too,
yeah.
So that's what I
judging,
learned.
all
Yeah,
these things.
absolutely. So that's what I learned, is to just try to turn everything into a positive, or something that I can work on or change about myself. That's just how I'm living now.
That's great.
And that's the only way I can. It's the only way I can get my message across about positivity too. So.
It's a good way to be, and it's, I don't know if it's just you or maybe people have taught you to be this way, but it's a good thing to teach the next person the same thing. Absolutely. Seems like you're wise beyond the station of this. It seems like to me. Yeah.
I just try to make the best of it because it's only for 1 year, and I cannot believe it's already April.
Yeah.
I have
Going by fast.
Oh my gosh,
September.
4.
It's the 4th month now.
What month is it? Just
It's April. April's the fourth
May,
month,
June, July.
and then
August.
September is.
I gave because the first week of September is when
okay.
it's.
Oh, okay. It's the transition.
So basically to August. So May, June, July, August. 4 months.
Mm-hmm. It'll go by even quicker than the first 8.
Exactly.
It goes by fast.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck with
Thank
the
you.
holistic
Thank you so
campaign.
That's a great campaign.
It's wonderful, and as a human, I appreciate it.
Yeah. As we all
Thank you
should.
so much.
Thanks for your time and for meeting with us.
Shema shizat sha'as ego do ale chaye yana ehiwe we ya yo ho ehiwe chaye yana ton jane go shije eshi sha'as ego do ale chaye yana ehiwe we are your ehiwe chaye yana ton jane go Shema sanet sot desen sha'as ego do ale chaye yana ehiwe we are your ehiwe chaye yana ton jane go Shiche hane go do ale